Hello guys, welcome back to another codingbat.com tutorial. Today we will be doing Python Logic-2 exercise round sum. The problem states, for this problem we'll round an int value up to the next multiple of 10 if its rightmost digit is 5 or more, so 15 rounds up to 20. Alternatively, round down to the previous multiple of 10 if its rightmost digit is less than 5, so 12 rounds down to 10. Given three ints, a, b, c, return the sum of their surrounded values. To avoid code repetition, write a separate helper def round 10 num and call it 3 times. Write the helper entirely below and at the same indent level as round sum. So what they basically want us to do is use the conventional rounding rules and round each of the values and add them up. So 16 rounds up to 20, 17 rounds up to 20, and 18 rounds up to 20. So add up the 3 20s and you get 60. In this case, 12 rounds down to 10, 13, and both 14 round down to 10. So you have 3 10s and they add up to 30. In this case, 6 rounds up to 10, 4 rounds down to 0, and same as this 4. So we basically get 10 because 10 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 10. So what we want to do is create that helper that was mentioned in the problem that will help us round each number. So how can we round each number? Well, one thing we're going to have to do is be able to check the very last digit of each number. So whether it's 6 or 7 or 8 or 2 or 3, we want to be able to check that so we know whether to round up or down. Well, how can we do that? We can use the num modulus function, num mod 10. So if you divide by 10, what's the remainder? And the remainder will always be whatever is in the ones place. So, well, we can first start by programming for what will happen when we round up. So what is the condition for which we round up? Well, if the number in the ones place is greater than or equal to 5. If that is so, then we basically want to round up. So if we think about how we can round up, one way we can do so is by adding 10 to the number and then subtracting whatever is in the ones place. So for instance, if we want to round 16 up, then we add 10, so it becomes 26, then subtract whatever is in the ones place, so 26 minus 6. For 17, we add 10, so 27, and then subtract 7, which is in the ones place, so you just get 20. So how do we do that? Well, we take num, add 10, and then subtract whatever was in the ones place. And we can do that by using that same exact function we used to check what was in the ones place to begin with. And if not, what can we do? Well, how can we modify this function to round down? Well, to round down, we don't need this plus 10. All we really need is to subtract that last ones digit value. So we take num and we subtract that ones digit value. And if we run the code, we get, oh, right. Finally, what do we need? Well, we have to return the sum of all the rounded values. So we round a by throwing it to the function, and then we add it to whatever is b, rounded, and then finally we do c, and then we add them all together and we return in the main function, and if we run the code, we get all correct.